How's it going, you guys? So in this video, I want to share with you my number one secret to being bulletproof in life, and essentially being able to approach life in a way where almost nothing can really bother you. Almost nothing can really affect you negatively in a significant way, okay? Obviously, there are exceptions, but that's only on the very extreme end. And it doesn't make sense to consider that when we're talking about a practical approach to reality. So, what is the main thing that's stopping people from achieving happiness? It's very simple. Problems. Problems, okay? At a baseline, the vast majority of problems that we experience can be solved. And if something can be solved, it makes no sense to waste your time worrying about it. And if a problem cannot be solved, if there's no solution to the problem whatsoever, which 9 times out of 10 people just assume there is not, but there actually is. But if the problem cannot be solved, then there's no use in worrying about it. Essentially, no problem is worth worrying about. It's not going to get better if you worry about it. You're not going to be able to think straight because when you're worried, the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that's responsible for critical thinking, is going to be completely shut off by the emotions. And so it does not make sense to worry. And if it doesn't make sense to worry, when you remove the cloud of anxiety and stress, you feel relaxed. You feel normal and natural and happy. Unless, of course, your diet is messed up and you have food intolerances and you're eating inflammatory foods, even like some people, they eat beans, legumes, and whole grains, and that can actually fuel anxiety in some people, not all. But there are so-called healthy foods that can actually fuel stress and anxiety, and when you remove them and you eat adequate amounts of proper nutrition, you actually feel so much better. But you have to be very specific and not just follow a basic healthy diet, because that's too general. People think whole milk is healthy. Anyway, that's all beside the point. I have plenty of videos on nutrition for anxiety and stress if you want to look those up. The Ultramind Solution by Mark Hyman is a great place to start. Anyway, without worry, you feel happy. Okay? And the problem is that people are worrying excessively over things that they can easily just solve. And the problem is not that you are stressed or anxious or worried. The problem is that you're spending too much time worrying and not enough time thinking in a logical and detached fashion about a solution. You are spending too much time worrying and not enough time thinking about how can I solve this problem? What is the worst thing that can happen in this situation? You know? And you have to understand that there's always a way to make things better. Almost always. If you're scared of losing your job, which is very common amongst most people, you really shouldn't worry about that, because I know there's this stupid chatter in the back of your head that says, but I have a car, I have a family to feed, I have bills, fuck this guy, he's not my age. Shut the fuck up. Seriously. These are justifications you tell yourself to allow yourself to continue to worry, and your worrying is not going to help you at all. It's just going to harm you. When you're worried, other people can tell, and other people are going to respond to it with more worry. It's just going to make your situation even worse. It is true. The more you stress, the worse the stress can get. When you drive in a worried and rushing fashion, you'll tend to cut people off and possibly cause a traffic ticket, run into other people, and then you're definitely going to be late for work, and you'll have a $300 ticket and car repairs on top of that, and possibly you might die. And this is actually a very common thing that happens. People worry, and so they get stressed and anxious, and then they do things that actually create more problems for themselves. All of this can be solved if you just sit down and think about, how can I solve this problem? Anytime there's an extreme problem, if you're feeling very stressed and worried, go for a walk, go outside and breathe. Do something that can relax you, because you must approach your problems from a non emotional, a detached, a relaxed state of mind. Okay? I've seen all my life the consequences of worry, stress, and unresolved problems. Okay? And many people cannot shake this habit, okay? Because you may think that your worries are something that must continue. You may think that you're just a worried person and there's no changing that. Or you may think that your problems are so bad that there's no way you can't stop worrying. But the fact is, the only reason you're worrying is because you choose to do so. It is a habit. It is a thought pattern. It's a pattern of behavior. And just like they talk about in the book, The Power of Habit, habits can be changed. And your personality is literally just a collection of thoughts you've acquired, habits you've developed, and the experiences that are the exact direct result of your habits and your thoughts. And so you must break the cycle of worry and approach it as an addiction, because it is. Because right now, many people with this addiction will be triggered hearing somebody say that you don't have to worry, that worrying is bad for you. Just like an alcoholic. They're going to get all angry at you, and then they're going to go right back and relapse. That triggeredness is the addiction. It is worrying. It is continuing to fuel the cycle of pain. And there's no way that anyone can help you in that state of mind. You cannot even help yourself. You can't solve your problems from the state in which it was created. That's an Einstein quote. Anyway, once you master this, and every time you start to feel yourself getting angry, you walk away and you take a walk and you remove yourself from the situation for a while and try to breathe. Or if you cannot remove yourself, 100% control yourself from doing anything stupid. And understand that nothing but bad things happen when you're worried. And so just understand that you can come to a solution when you calm the fuck down. And because every problem can be solved, if you lose your job, there's Indeed.com. I know many people who get a job within 3 days after losing one just because they're on it. I know a lot of people that are unemployed for months because they don't, and we give them job opportunities and they don't care. Like, the reason why they're unemployed is not because they cannot get another job, even a high-paying job. It's not because jobs don't exist or no one's hiring. It's because you're not trying, because you're not focused on solving your problem. And that's the main problem with most people. Instead of trying to solve the problem and looking at it from a realistic point of view, including understanding that there's no point in complaining or worrying, people choose to complain and worry and stress and vent to other people. And there's no time for that. You're going to die eventually. Why the fuck would you waste your time worrying? And then once you do this, you just, another good approach is trust the universe and always understand, like, hey, there's opportunities all around me. I just have to be receptive to these opportunities. And what you'll find is, if you start to, as crazy as it sounds, if you start to actually trust the universe, you will see solutions to your problems almost automatically, because you're not stressed anymore. So leave your questions down below, and because you're seeking the solutions, let me know what you think about this. I'll talk to you all in the next video.